What's up, guys? It's Virtual Beats coming at you live once again from the simulation. And in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to come up with chords and melodies without having any knowledge of music theory. If you never played a piano, you don't have to worry. If you don't know any music theory, you don't have to worry. If you were that kid that wasn't paying attention in choir class, you don't gotta worry. I got you covered, all right? I'm gonna be going over everything you need to know to come up with fire melodies, the whole shebang. So if you're new to the channel here, my name is Virtual Beats, and I'm continuing an ongoing series called the For Dummies series, FL for Dummies series. If you're new, the series basically goes over everything I believe a producer should know, from leveling their beats to mixing. So we are on the coming up with chords and melodies side of things. So if you want to start off from the beginning, link in this description, and above my head there's going to be an annotation. You can start from the beginning, but if you're just here because you want the chord and melody segment, then it's good. But we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing you need to know when we're coming up with chords and melodies is you need to realize, what are you feeling? What are you trying to go for? What is the vibe that you're trying to capture? What are you trying to capture in a song? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? What kind of happy are you feeling? Are you feeling triumphant? Are you feeling sad, depression? You need to figure out what is the mood of the song, and that will help you with the chords. So I have this site right here that will be linked in the description below, and there's many sites like this. So if you guys want to, further dive deep into this, you can go ahead and just search. But I have this site linked up, and this site right here helps you find out what chord makes you feel a certain way. So one rule of thumb you want to remember is major is happy, minor is the type of sad. So major is the type of happy, minor is the type of sad. So you can see right here, you have all these scales. So like I said, F minor right here, it's a deep depression, funeral elegment, groans of misery, longing for the grave. That's the kind of vibes it gives you. F sharp major is, triumphed over difficulty, free sign of relief. It's, you feel like you won, you overcame something. So there's different vibes, but the rule of thumb is major happy, minor is sad, and there's different types. So for this video, I like the F minor scale, so this is what I'm going to be using, the F minor scale. And you're going to have to know the scale of F minor. So a lot of you guys don't know the scales. So one way to do that is to have a scales pack, and I have a scales pack linked in the description below for you guys to download for free, and you just choose the scale that you want. So I wanted F minor right here, so I'm gonna drag this to an empty spot, and what this does is it shows me all the notes that are on that scale. So I can go ahead, open up here in the piano roll, and these are all the notes. If I put a note on here, it's gonna be an F minor. So I can go ahead, stack up these notes, and build a chord. So this is just me just playing around, just, trying to get some chords going. And there's already something going on. And you also just tweak these a little bit, they don't have to be, it's all just playing around. Let me choose a different sound. I don't really like that sound too much. So that's how you would come up with chords. So you can go ahead and mess around with these. There's different types of ways to move these chords. So if you click this wrench right here, there's, you can arpeggiate them. You can strum them. And some sounds don't sound good strum depending on what sound you have. So if you have strings, it's going to sound a little odd, and pads are going to sound a little odd too. So let me go to the piano. Dino EP2 is a good sound on Purity. So we got something good like that, already good to go. And now we can do the same thing for counter melody. So I'm gonna add another Purity right here. So we're just gonna clone this Purity, and it's gonna take a minute to load because it's gonna find the sound that I was already using. So I'm gonna use a lead. I need a lead. So let me look for a good lead. I like that lead. So let me turn it down a bit. So now it's the same thing for the lead. If you want to look for a melody, a counter melody, you can just mess with these. So these are, you know, your little thing, your little scale, your reference scale to come up with counter melodies. So I can go ahead and I'm just messing around, but we're going to see what this sounds like. Now I can just get these, Control C, Control V, and this is just real quick. You know, this is F minor scale. So there we go. We already got the melody and something quick. And if you don't need this F minor thing no more, just delete it. That easy. And look, we already got something going. So you can add a bunch of layers, add pads, or help you stay in the correct scale. And then I can go ahead and I will go and add my claps and everything. And all the drum kits that you see me use in this video will be free to download in my Discord server. All these are from, you know, the bot in my Discord server. So let me get something good from here. Don't really like this. Maybe a snare. We'll just do something real quick just for the sake of this video. So there we go. We already have something simple, and you would go in there and add more. We could add more layers and, you know, spend more time on that, and obviously make it sound crazy and make it sound unique, you know, add layer after layer, EQ and mixing. But that's how you would come up with melodies and chords. Simple, easy for beginners. Didn't need to know any music theory at all. Just used the scales, and I just used the little scale filling chart where it tells us what scales feel a certain way. So you can dive deeper into it if you guys want to. There's other sites that go deeper into the scales and show more than just the basic scales. You know, there's other scales too. So if you downloaded that free scales pack, you'll see there's other scales right here. Different types of A scales, A major, A right here, A diminished, A the blues, A Arabic. Like, there's all kinds of scales, and you can all research that. But I provided that in the description. So if you want, let's say I want the blues, A sharp blues scale, here we go. We got a blues scale right here. So we could do some A sharp blues. Now I'm gonna show you a faster way of doing that. So if you have the newest version of FL or access to any of these plugins, this is gonna be a cool trick. So there's this plugin right here called Scalar. All right, Scalar is cool. It's good for creating chord progressions. They have different things right here. So you can go to scales. You can choose, let's say I want the C major scale. And there's the scales. Let's say I want to do a specific genre. Let's say I wanted to do R&B, right? It's going to give me some R&B chords right here. Just different randomized chords. And you can, use these to come up with stuff. But I'm going to show you a trick with Scalar 2. So with Scalar 2, you can just turn off this piano because we don't really like that piano. We'll add Purity right here. And let me look for a good sound with Purity. So Purity we'll take Dino EP2. A lot of people use that one. So what you want to do is use Scalar with Purity. To use that together, what you do is you click this gear icon, go to the tab over, output port in the MIDI section, put the output port to 1. Then you go ahead and you close this. Open Purity, go to the gear, here, input port to 1. And then now, when you play anything in Scalar, it's going to send it to Purity. So if I go to Purity, that's where it's getting it from. It's getting it from there. So there's different scales right here you could choose. There's different types of music you want to choose. There's other people's own scales that they, use for their own things. And you can just mess around with it. So I'm going to use an R&B scale. So let me see for something I like. Actually, we're going to try gospel or jazz. We'll do one of these jazz scales. All right, so everything that I wanted to play, the order that I wanted to play it in, I'm putting it down here. So what you do now is you click this part right here, this metronome, you turn it on, and just look for a tempo that you like. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, hit MIDI capture, and I'm going to play along with the metronome. Hit stop on the metronome, drag this file over to Purity, and there we go. Look at that. There's what we just played. Now all I would have to do, Control Q, and I would have to actually let's see. So Control Q. So it needs some adjustment because I didn't play it correctly, but we're just going to make all those fine tweaks right now. So Control Q is to quantize. So these are off. So these are going to be moved back. So Control Quantize could work for the most part. Sometimes it does work. Sometimes it doesn't, depending on how off you are. If you're off by just a little bit, it will come in clutch and it'll help you. If you're off by a lot, it will not help you. So what I'm doing is I'm just fixing everything that I, played incorrectly. So this goes here, this goes here. And then I think, yeah. So then now I put a note right here, and I'll show you why I put a note right here. So once I have it lined up, right, it's all lined up, you hit Control L and it'll make all the notes long. You don't need a note right there actually, but yeah. So you hit Control L, it makes all the notes long. If it does Control L and these last parts right here are like this, for some reason, adding a note here will fix it. So that's why I added a note. But sometimes it'll do that, sometimes it won't. But if it does, that's how you fix it. Or you could just drag it. But Control L, and now when I play it, so I don't like this part right here. So let me take that out, hit Control L. So then you can be like, all right, I like this melody, I like what it is, but you might not know the scale. You can pull it up here in scaler and see what the scale was that you were playing. And I think it is C major, that's what I was playing. But I just want to show you this trick if you come up with your own scales and you don't know the key of them. A lot of you guys use this plugin on vocals, auto key, but you can use it also on melodies. So let's say you have a sample, or you have the chords that you just played and you don't know what key they're in. You just close this, you put the auto key in your master, and it'll just listen to what you're playing. So it's C major. That just confirmed it. But yeah, auto key is a good way to find out what the scale was for samples, everything that you play. So if you play something you don't know, then you can use auto key. It's a good shortcut. I use it all the time. And now, instead of using, you would go in here, use the scale thing, right? Like this, you would go in scales and it's C major. So you would go to C major and you would drop it in here like this. I'm gonna show you a trick if you have the latest version of FL. So if you have the latest version of FL or a new version, you'll see right here, you'll have all these root notes. When you right click this keyboard, this icon, basically if you turn it on and I push a note on my keyboard, so let me go here, it'll play on the piano. So if you right click it, you can change the root note. So if you have the old version of FL, I think you're only limited to C, but if you have a newer version, you can change the root note to whatever root note you want to. So we have C major's the root or the scale. So I click C, then I'll right click it and I'll go to major right here. And if it was minor, then I'll go to one of these minor things. But I go to major, and now when I play a note on my piano, you see, it's gonna be on that scale. So any note I play on my keyboard will be on the C major scale. So I could just mess around. And I can mess around and come up with a melody like that. I could push any note and it'll just be easier for me to come up with a melody. I don't have to use this. So if you have the newest FL, you don't even need to worry about the first thing I told you about using the scales. You don't need the scales at all. It just makes it easier. You don't need the scales. If you have the newest FL, you can just use this right here to come up with scales, or melodies, even chords too. See, if you go to chord map, you can make chords in that scale. So we have major chord map and a minor chord map. We don't have, the blues and everything. You have them right here, but you don't have a chord map for them, so you're gonna have to play them manually. So if I switch to major chord map, I push one note on my keyboard and I'm pushing W, I just played a chord. I'm gonna push R, I played another chord. Z to question mark, on the keyboard are bass notes. And if you combine one of the bass notes with a chord note, it makes it, you know, sound in harmony. So yeah, that's another way to come up with chords. But I usually use Scalar 2 to come up with chords because you can, you know, change and you can pick certain chords that you want to use, and you can mix and match them with this bottom part right here. So we don't need Scalar 2 no more. We could delete that. And we're not making chords, so I'm gonna switch it to major. If it was minor, I would switch it to minor melodic or harmonic for some cases, but I'm gonna switch it to major. And then now I'm gonna open up another purity, and this purity right here is going to be a lead, so we're going to add like a random synth. Turn that down a little bit. Now any note that I play is going to be on the scale, so I can come up with a melody. So I'm gonna just use a little quick simple melody. So yeah, that's something I like. And then this one I wasn't that off, so I could just hit Control Q, it'll quantize it. And there you go. There's something simple. And like I said, all the drum kits that I'm going to be using are in the Discord server. Go ahead and get into the server. What are you guys doing? Join the community server. I drop gems like this all the time. But yeah, go ahead. Let me go open up another drum kit from the Discord server. We got an indie kit. So we're going to go ahead and add some hi-hats. Basic 2-step hi-hat. Add a snare. And yeah, look at that. We're gonna do, you know, some basic stuff. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Hope that guys helped you guys out. You know, if you guys were struggling with melodies, chords, all that stuff, and if you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. Join the Discord server. We're an ever-growing community. We're about to hit 1K on the channel. We're about to hit 1K on Discord, you know, community members. You know, thank you guys for all the support. Everybody that's been showing love on all the videos means a lot to me. I like helping you guys out. But yeah, if you have any questions, ask them below. If you want to see any videos, comment them below. And that's gonna wrap it up for this video. So my name is Virtual Beats. Hope you're having a good night or day, and I'm signing out the simulation.